This is where the real hip hop lives. Rough Riders Radio. 100% real hip hop and R&B.
Let's try it. All right, so we're gonna do ladies first. So, Shelene, you're going with me first.
So what I do, I got you here.
You got the link?
No, it just came up.
Go to my Facebook channel and click that link.
With 360 checking from Capital One, it's all about you. Banking the way you want, where you want, when you want, with our top-rated mobile app. Plus, there are
That's what it's called, society.
bank your way with 360 checking from Capital One. Think about it and learn more.
Yeah. That's our main camera. Just so you know. This is my live, but that's the main camera we're focusing on. You know what I'm saying? Let's see where I really sent it to. You didn't, when you clicked on the page, you didn't see the link there? Let's get the show started. That's right. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. We here, GRINDHARD TV Podcast. We live. Y'all getting the live behind the scenes stuff right now. I'm here with Shelene Thomas. Y'all can call up too. 516-540-1684. This episode is sponsored by Ride Out Energy Drinks. You heard? Yeah. Stay tuned. It's going to be a crazy episode.
Have you always had trouble with your weight? Me too.
Discover the power of Wegovy. With Wegovy, I lost 35 pounds. And some lost over 46 pounds.
And I'm keeping the weight off.
Reducing my risk. Wegovy is the only weight management medicine proven to reduce risk of major cardiovascular events such as death, heart attack, or stroke in adults with heart disease and obesity.
Don't use Wegovy with semaglutide or GLP-1 medicines or in children under 12. Don't take if you or your family have FTC, MEN2, or allergic to it. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are breastfeeding, pregnant, or planning. Stop taking it. Get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe
Look at that. You get a lump or swelling in your neck.
serious side effects,
Not by mistake.
and stomach problems. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar in people with diabetes, especially if you take medicines to treat diabetes. Call your prescriber about vision changes, including heart racing or rest, or if you have mental
Yo, what's good, y'all?
Oh, yeah, sexy challenges.
side effects, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, pain, flu, or upset. Feeling tired, dizzy, or bloated, gas, and heart. Some side effects lead to dehydration.
That's that superstar status life right there. You got your water over there? Right here. In case you want to try them. Right here. Right here. I gotta go back up and get more.
Don't gotta worry about the mic. I got you. I'm gonna get your dog in the office. You just gotta do it.
Everyone math is in the studio. Yo, what's good, everybody that's tuning in right now? I know y'all see me promoting it like crazy. We got her here and him here. You know what I'm saying? We got Shelene Thomas, IKE Floyd in the building. We gonna get everything started. Y'all know my lives. Y'all get the behind the scenes stuff before we really go. But that's what it do. You know what I mean? But yeah, we hit, baby. 1, 2, 1, 2.
All right, let's try the music.
Yeah.
You gotta make a moving image of your groundhog.
I know you've been told me that, bro.
Got that bitch ass nigga out my way.
Yo, how come every time your page come up, that show pops up? You don't rotate it to where the shows could be at your.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't focused on it.
Oh,
I'm gonna do it.
every time I go to it,
That's the video.
that guy pops up every time.
I gotta rotate the video. So that's the volume.
That was him. That was that show.
No, so I'm just saying the volume wise. That's it.
I want to put the music on. It's just an instrumental. We can't go wrong with the instrumental, right? You know, sometimes we play certain stuff and they'll flag us because it's, you know what I'm saying? So your vote, even though it's you that's doing it, it's your vocals on the music. When that goes live on YouTube, they'll flag us for the song or something. You know what I mean? So I can play the instrumental and not be a problem. But I have you here. Uchi Wally, baby. This is Miss Uchi Wally right here.
Oh wow.
Crazy. We get superstar guests in the building. Y'all better recognize, man. Grind hard, man. Play with me. And I got my guy Ike Floyd in the building. He got a bunch of things going on with him too. Word. Your horse was good. Dula was good. You already know.
I was just what you call it. I got I'm supposed to executive produce Jungle's podcast.
I know because they was messing with the cover and everything.
So I got a picture of me, Jungle, and Miss Sean.
Night, thing, holla, Uchi bang bang, Uchi rally, Uchi bang bang. Yo, that's a hit right there.
Definitely is.
That's why Nas jumped on it because he wasn't on the original. The remix is with Nas on it. Word up. As that record started taking off, let me get on that. But it helped the record though. I ain't gonna front. But you did your thing on it. You did your mother effing thing on that shit. Oh, we can curse on here too, so you ain't gotta worry about it.
Yo,
say what the fuck.
Jay, do me a favor. Stop that for a second. Talk. All right.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You know what I'm saying? We here, GRINDHARD TV Podcast. You already know what it is. We are at the end of the first quarter of the year. Everybody that are in industry executives or industry per se, y'all would know what the quarters are. And we are at the end of March. So this is the end of the first quarter. We're going into the second quarter of the year. So if y'all had New Year's resolutions and y'all said y'all was gonna get a lot of shit done, if y'all ain't getting it done already in the first fucking 90 days of the year, you're behind and you're slacking. You know what I'm saying? So word up. That's what it is. 1 2 1 2. Okay, that's what it is.
In the place to be.
Yeah. Now you hear us even better. Y'all know y'all can call the lines open 516-540-1684. You know what I'm saying?
I'm wondering what's going on, so I don't see no live. Okay, we good now.
1 2 1 2.
All right, I'm muting you all. I got your value.
Okay. So we're gonna start it off with the music, and then we're gonna play a little bit, and then we're gonna come in and I'm gonna introduce. See, all these people on the lives that be watching all of this stuff early, but this is really the show.
So we are ready.
Okay. The cameras at a perfect angle and
I
everything.
think this thing, I'll show you the camera shot.
I would keep you up here,
this
water.
Is the camera shot.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. You know, y'all can say something on the live. If y'all don't call up, you can say something. I know y'all. Some of y'all are from different parts of the world, but I can read your questions.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Audio up. Warning sign up. Extreme media opening up. Countdown about to start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see it? You want to see that?
You up here next, Ike. You in the hot seat next. Word. Uh-huh. Come on. All right, we about to come in. I ain't want to take too much time. I want to get to talking. I'm excited right now. Hype.
Hand claps.
All right. Yeah, baby. It's your boy WORLDORAMA. We back on another episode of GRINDHARD TV Podcast. I know everybody that's been paying attention and everything. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's been paying attention to what's going on. You know, like I said, it's the top of the year, the end of the first quarter. We got a lot of things going on over here on this side. Shout out to my team, S3 Media, you know what I mean, Rough Riders Radio, and everybody that's involved with what we got going on, man. Shout out to my
No, we got that over, bro. Pardon me.
All right, let's do it again.
Let's do it one more time.
Let's go.
My bad.
See, all y'all people that be on the lives and y'all be seeing what's going on, y'all will see all of the behind the scenes stuff when we got to start it over. That stuff you don't usually see when you watch it like major TV and shit like that. But that's what live.
Raw and uncut.
Yeah, raw and uncut, man. Grind hard, man.
Everything good though.
No. That camera's watching me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Gonna do that again.
All right. Like me looking straight ahead, they're getting me that angle, and this is getting me just like they're getting you.
Audio up.
You know what I mean? So you could just look wherever. You really got
morning sign up. S3 Media opening up. Countdown about to start. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Make it hot. Make it hot. Make it pop.
You good. Everything good.
All right, cool.
Classic song.
This is a hit. It's a hit.
Classic
but
song.
You got a lot more. We're gonna go through all of that too once we get this started. Like you got a lot more. Yo,
keep it playing. Keep it playing. They don't see me. They don't see me. Keep it playing.
Okay. All right. You ready?
Got you. Remember when hand claps.
Yo, y'all know what it is. We here, man. It's your boy WORLDORAMA. I'm back again. Another episode of GRINDHARD TV Podcast. Y'all see what we doing out here. We really making it happen. We are moving in these streets. Y'all heard the intro music. Y'all know where that's from. I didn't put the vocals in it, but y'all seen all the promotions that I've been doing. And yeah, I have in the building with me right now, on the couch with me right now, I got Miss Uchi Wally herself, Shelene Thomas, y'all. Let's go. Oh. I know what to do, man. Like, I got so much stuff to talk about with you. And the first thing I want to say was, how was it like coming up with that? Like that song right there, did somebody write that for you? Did the Jungle or Nas or any of them guys come up with that? Or was that your idea? Like, how did that work? How did that work out? Like,
Well, it's definitely not my idea. It was already written. Just the last line of the book, I really love it, Thug and Gangster Style.
Oh, okay.
Stuck on that. That's the only part.
Oh, okay. So you just, whatever they said, you really got that. Yo, you killed that shit. I never thought in a million years that I would have you on my podcast right now talking about that hook, because that's such a prominent song in hip hop. Like that song, like that introduced a whole group. That's Nas's actual first group, right? Or was it the
Bravehearts?
It was Bravehearts, right? And then it was AZ and all of them and stuff like that. But Yo, that song is such an iconic hip hop classic, and to have you on my show, I'm very pleased and happy to have you here. But I want people to know about you and know like who you are, where you're from, and what are some of your inspirations that made you want to be in music. So like tell the people more about yourself.
Well, my name is Shelene Thomas. I was born in the Bronx, New York, South Bronx.
Okay.
Land of hip hop.
Uptown, baby. Uptown, baby.
And it's nothing like them staircases where the acoustics, the beatbox, and doing the beats on the handrails.
Yeah.
So I came up.
That's in the Bronx tenement building.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting back in the day.
Yeah, they actually rebuilt them because you know what I'm saying. You're pretty young. You wasn't there when the building was all abandoned and stuff like that, right?
Oh yes, I was.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. So she's legit. She is legitimate right there, like that. To be in the Bronx during that time where everything was just rubble and
war zone.
Yeah. Wow. How was it like that growing up around that time when hip hop was first being birthed?
Well, like I said, that's the most important part I enjoyed was rhyming in the staircases because that's where the acoustics just sounded. That's the best sound you could get.
Right.
Besides that, in the train station, you run up against people rhyming and doing the beatbox. I feel like you just join in.
Right.
So it's pretty fun as far as that.
Did you feel like nervous in any way because it was so? I remember back in them days, in the 70s, 80s, and stuff like that, early 90s, like it was real grimy looking. Like the trains were so graffitied up, and it was just a real scary time. Like when you look at the Warriors movie, the Bronx looked real scary for people that wasn't, you know what I'm saying, really about that life. And you seem like such a dainty, like, you know what I'm saying, sweet little girl. Like how was that for you out there? Like,
I know how to run pretty fast. And you mind your business basically. And yeah, like I said, it looked like a war zone, so a lot of places you didn't want to, visit. But yeah, you just kept moving and stay out of trouble.
Wow.
You see something crazy over there, cross the street. That's basically.
Well, I was saying that I wanted you to tell me like what really inspired you, but just being from the Bronx in that time alone, that's inspiration in itself. You know what I mean?
Music was my solace. Singing was my solace as a little kid. That was like something to do besides art. Drawing was also my solace. So, yeah. What made me get into singing was that it just was soothing and calming, and so many different types of music. I never just was stuck to one
right.
thing. So all kinds of music. I love every genre. And what got me started is I guess in school. They had a couple of programs or whatever, but I was really shy as far as singing. With rapping, I would just rhyme, whatever. But singing was a little bit more shy. But when they had a couple of programs in school, I would go do my thing and leave real quick. Go do a little contest and leave. I wouldn't even stick around to see if I won or not. I'd find out the next day that I won.
Is that like a part of your shyness? Because you're very like quiet and calm and secluded, but when you get on that mic and start singing, it's almost like you like out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I get nervous every time before I sing, and that's probably never going to go away because it's such a I want to please the crowd so much, and I don't want to forget lyrics. That's another thing.
What's your birthday?
June 7th.
Cancer?
Gemini.
Oh, Gemini. Also, that's why you got two people in one. You know what I'm saying? That's that Gemini. Oh, you Gemini. That's Remy always say that Gemini bully season. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's what it is, man. So you got two personalities. You know what I mean?
Pretty much, but I don't change. Like some Geminis are like nice one minute and mean the next. The thing with me is I'm always nice, but I'm very defensive. So you get on the wrong side, I'm going to protect it.
See, so then basically you don't know it yourself, but you are two different people because you could be sweet all day until they try you. It's like those little gummy candies where they said sweet on one side and nasty on the other. Like that's what it is, man. You can never give everybody all niceness because in this business, you can't be nice to people all of the time. So why don't you speak about some of that? Because you sang with a lot of prominent people. You've been on a lot of big records. So how has that been getting things done and making it happen and still persevering and being able to succeed with what it is that you put forth in this culture?
Well, what made it kind of easy for me and how I was able to navigate through the BS is picking and choosing who I wanted to work with, and just protecting myself in that way. So I don't have any like horror stories or anything like that in the business because I was scared of it, and I would just steer clear, basically, of certain groups of people, and and so like Heavy D, for instance, I worked with Heavy D, and on a song called You. And I did it. It was a demo, and all of a sudden I hear it on the radio, stuff like that. It's hard to know who's gonna be grimy in that sense, and just like steal your stuff and not tell you. But after going through that, I just remained a little very careful. And,
it's crazy that you say that because Heavy D was a very big, prominent part of a lot of people's careers. And, it was so sad that he passed away and everything like that. But, when you think about it, before Puffy, it was Heavy D. Heavy D is the one that actually alley-ooped Puff into the situation and was working with Andre and all of that first. So he's dead, so he really can't speak on whatever it is that, went on with him in the industry, which probably worked out for him better because whatever was going on, a lot of them stories ain't really out because he died so long ago, whatever like that. But, there was a lot of stuff going on and being said about a lot of people in the game that were really like using or doing really snaky stuff to get things done. Although you put on people, there was still some questionable stuff that was done putting those people on. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, So For Real and a couple of people that got on, like their careers went awry because their business wasn't handled right, or they probably was jerked in a certain way where they couldn't really like manage it growing up in life. And you were pretty young when you first started, you know what I mean? So how was that, and how did that affect you growing up into an adulthood? Because you stepped away from the music scene for a while.
I was in my 20s, when I first started. And yes, I did step away for a while because I had a daughter, and I wanted nothing to happen to her. I didn't believe in babysitters, so I was more hands-on. And I thought that, I should, if I'm having children, I should raise them. I don't want anybody else to raise them.
Right.
And have anything ever happen to them, not one thing. So I had to make sure I was there.
Is when you say that about your daughter, you didn't want anything to happen to her? Is it because what you were seeing in the music industry?
It's because of that and things that I have gone through personally myself that I kind of just told in a separate in another video. But so I had to protect my daughter.
That's kind of like what Usher said when he was on David Howard Stern show. When he asked him, he was like, "Oh, would you let your kids go to Puffy camp?" He was like, "Hell no, hell no." So clearly, that tells you right there that something happened to him, or some things that he went through that he won't even allow his kids to go through. So it wasn't good.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because we all want better for our children. So if you went through something that got you to catapulted to your stardom, but it was some very bad, questionable stuff that you wouldn't even want your children to go through, then it wasn't all good. You know what I'm saying? So I applaud you for talking about that and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes I would have my daughter with me, and some guys would say things like, "Oh, she looks like she don't have a shape like you," or whatever kids say.
Wow.
Damn near knock them down. Like I would go into a rage because I never liked men that are looking at little girls in a sexual way. So.
And that's all it was back then. That's all it was. It was young men older men on younger women. And obviously from now with all of the stuff that's coming out, younger boys too. It wasn't just young women they was preying on. It was preying on young boys too. And it was all about how bad you wanted a career. If you wanted a career this bad, you got to come and do this.
And then if you don't stick with whoever you're working with and you see red flags, they call you disloyal.
Right, yeah, we was talking about that's disloyal. So you're disloyal because you won't let this motherfucker molest you, or you trying to move and operate in an industry where you gonna go where it's best for you. So if somebody comes and brings you into the game and they feel like they want to manipulate you or abuse you, and you say, "Nah, I'm not dealing with that." But over here, this guy offered me something that's in a better position for me. Now you're disloyal because you want to go where it's better for your situation. That's kind of the reason why now this independent era is a lot better. And you know what I mean? There's always pros and cons to everything. And now that you can be independent and you can fund fund your own stuff, you don't have to be subjected to some of the things that these people are offering you. So if you take it, that's because you wanted it.
And sign you and put you on a shelf. What the hell is that? You can't go do your craft. You can't build.
Let's speak on that, because when I was reading up on you and you sent me a bio, you've been on a lot of big records, like from Celine Dion to J-Lo to, you know what I'm saying, a lot of big prominent stuff that you sang on. Now, that's weird that a lot of us regular fans that listen to the music, we didn't know that you were a part of these records or that you were singing on these records. We got familiar with you through Uchi Wally. And even on that song, it was a Nas and Braveheart song. We loved the hook that you've done, but we didn't even know who you were that was singing that, but we loved the record. So how was that for you, that you've been a part of so much big records and you still haven't really had your own star that shine? How does that make you feel?
Well, it doesn't. Well, that's really the path that I guess I chose, because I'm pretty much of an introvert and a loner and this, that, and the third. And because people, the industry was kind of not easy to navigate through. So I feel working with big artists was a blessing,
Right.
definite blessing. So I'm very thankful for that, and thankful for Tommy Mottola at the time, getting me on these different projects. And I don't feel slighted in any kind of way. I could have pushed myself, harder, but I didn't really want to, because the industry was dark and dirty, and I didn't really, I didn't really care for those parts. Plus, I was always by myself. Like I said, it was kind of a little scary sometimes.
How was that working with Tommy Mottola? Because it's a lot of monster stories about it.
I do not have any dark stories to tell whatsoever, because that's how I moved. I'm in and out. So
you was one of them artists that drink water and mind your business.
Yeah, I just went, did the thing, and left, and that's how it always was. But he wanted to sign me as a writer, and I don't know what made me not do that. Just it's very about anybody wanting to sign me, or me signing any darn thing. He came personally to me to sign a disclosure, because I doubled J-Lo's lead on about like 6 songs, or probably more.
Wow.
Doubled. I'm talking beginning to end, every phrase on the J-Lo album. So I'm sure it's way past the time to be able to tell that. A lot of people told their little secrets as far as J-Lo.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah.
And she's actually a prominent part of this whole Diddy situation. They talking about when some of this video footage come out, she's at these parties doing a lot of questionable stuff. But it's been said from the beginning that she did whatever it took for her to get to the top. Because we remember her when she was a Fly Girl on In Living Color. That was one of the biggest comedy shows back then, and I remember seeing J-Lo on it a lot. You know what I mean? And she did whatever she had to do, and she made it. But somebody like yourself that wasn't into doing some of them questionable things, that's why you probably was, you started and shine away, because you opted to keep your dignity instead of going after the wealth that they was offering you from some of the things that you could have done. Because Tommy Mottola, he was also the one that was with Mariah Carey. You know what I'm saying? And Mariah Carey had a lot of stories to say about this man, and she was married to him. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about back in the days, a lot of women and men, they chose that life because they wanted that success and that fame and that wealth. So now, all these years later, with this whole Me Too movement and all of that stuff, a lot of people and security guards and things of that sort of coming forth and saying the things that happened back then. But a lot of people weren't forced into it. It was presented to them, and they chose that other door. They say you either choose the red pill or the blue pill. Which one you want? And they was choosing that pill that, got them in situations that now they're traumatized from a lot of stuff. So you being an introvert and not really following suit and going into that other left door, you know what I mean? You may have not reached that pinnacle where you wanted to be or could have been, but you also have your sanity, and you raised your daughter without having all of this traumatizing situations that, that a lot of other people went through. Because nowadays with this whole podcast stuff, there's everybody and their mother getting on their podcast talking about some of the foul things that they went through back then. But a lot of the stuff wasn't forced on people. They opted for that because they wanted that fame. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure they didn't opt for the bad things that happened to them. They just stuck it out because they, like you said, wanted the fame, but they didn't want the nastiness. And my trauma came before the industry, which is probably why I navigated it the way I did.
Right.
For myself. So.
Well, you know, to all of the people that been through stuff, and you know, now you're saying, "Oh, he did this or she did that to me," and this that. You didn't. You had an option in the beginning to not do it. You know what I'm saying? You had that option. Like, for instance, the Puffy's trial is coming up because it's coming up in May, and that's right around the corner. And they were showing some of the videos of Cassie in some of these freak offs, and they were saying that she was the aggressor in a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? I know they put out the video of him running down on her, beating up in a hallway and things that I saw. You know, that was foul. You know, but we all know in a lot of relationships, there's a lot of fighting going on, and relationships where people love each other or they may believe that the love is there. But she was living a wonderful life for them 10 years. You know what I mean? Being Puffy's girlfriend or whatever, and going through all of that abuse and going through all of those orgies and things that I saw. She kind of got used to that life and was enjoying it at one point, until it got to a point where she didn't want to do it no more. So I'm really wondering and looking to see how this trial is going to play out, because she's not really going to look all that innocent and as the damsel in distress when this comes out. And you being a female artist from that era coming up in the game, what it is that you would have to say about any of the things that might come out.
I honestly really couldn't tell you, but as far as young people get groomed in however which ways people groom them into having them comfortable, with doing certain little things, and then they introduce other things, introduce something else, until you're so into it that that they have stuff on you. Whereas you try to leave, they force you to stay.
Has any of that ever been presented to you?
No way. No, I have.
He said, "No way, no way, Jose."
No, people. I'm telling you, people. I was liked by the people I needed to be liked by, and people who couldn't understand a female rolling around in the business doing her thing. And I think I put on an angry face most of the time. I had a mean face most of the time. So
that worked out for you.
Not want to mess with me. They probably thought I had a problem too. I don't know. But I got the job done. I got it done in a timely fashion, and because from the beginning, I double my leads or I double anything without listening to it, because that just makes it better sometimes when you're doubling. Anyway, but that just made it time is money. So that was one of the things where let me get through sessions real fast.
So how did you? Let's talk about the Uchi Wally feature. How did that feature come about? How did you wind up becoming this person to sing on that song with the Bravehearts for their first hit record?
I was with Prince Marky D in the studio.
R.I.P. Prince Marky D.
Yes, called Lobo Studios, and did a lot of J-Lo stuff from there too. But I happened to be there with him, and he got a call. I was doing a song for Tatiana. Not Tatiana.
Well, that's the only Tatiana Ali I know.
Yeah, yes. I was doing a song for her. Anyway, he got a phone call. I guess it was from Nas. They were talking back and forth. They needed someone to do the hook. And he said, "I got somebody right here." That's what I heard him say. "I got somebody right here." So then we went there and did it. But when Nas first saw me, because I had my hair natural up in a bun, he's like, "You know what you're getting ready to do? You all right with this?" And I was like, "Don't judge a book by its cover." And that's what I said.
Because you looked like a little sweet daisy flower. And he was like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, "Oh, you sure you want to sing this nasty hook?" But it worked out for you, man. That hook that you've done, that implemented that song in hip hop history, and everybody knows it. You know what I'm saying? When I was telling people that I was having you on the show, and I explained to them that song, everybody knows that song.
So I want to say thanks to Nas for putting me on that song.
Salute Nas.
Yeah, that's an awesome
word.
Awesome track.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So what have you been doing since then? Since that was big then? What have you been doing now? I know you said you've been doing art and things that I saw, but we gotta support ourselves, we gotta live. So what are some of the things that you've been doing with yourself as far as your career is concerned, since you fell back a little bit from the music thing?
Well, there's well, like you said, I kind of took a break, raised my family and everything, and I do art now. I've been doing art from young, but
Right.
I do a lot of art, and also I still sing. It's not like I'm not singing. There's a movie coming up. Ray's putting a movie together, and
Is it in the beginning?
yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, I'm in that too. In the beginning, let's not talk about that one. It's a movie coming out in the beginning. You know what I mean? Shelene Thomas is in that. You're singing in it or you're in it?
I'm not even sure what my part's gonna be yet. She's just very excited about having me play any part. I'm not even sure. Some angel.
Oh yeah, I heard her say that you was an angel.
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
So I'm not sure. So.
Well, I play Abraham in that.
Oh,
so when I looked up Abraham in the Bible, you know what I mean, he's a guy that has a wife and a baby mother and a whole bunch of children, and it's a lot going on with him, kind of similar to my life, because I got a bunch of not a bunch, but I got an ex-wife, baby mothers, a wife, kids, and kids that I raised that wasn't my kids, and it's kind of like very close and similar to my life. So in the beginning is a modern day biblical type of film, and I am a modern day Abraham. So she picked the right person for that. You know what I'm saying? So grateful for that. Yeah, hand clap for that. You know what I mean? What they call that, like casting? She did a great casting part for getting me to play that guy because I am him. You know what I mean? And I don't even go to church or nothing like that, but I believe in a higher power, that there is somebody up there that, you know what I mean, when you get judged at the end, there's somebody there that's going to oversee. Because I was almost killed when I was younger, a teenager. I was one of them young teenagers that was out in the street doing whatever, no fear, and I almost lost my life. And I seen my life from birth up until that time flash before my eyes, and then I seen a light that I wanted to try to go to, and when I came to, it was the lights over the operating table. So when they have shit like that in movies where they see people get killed or shot or whatever, and they see their light flash before their eyes, and then you see a big light, it does happen. Mm-hmm. That's true, and I'm a testament of it because it happened. You know what I'm saying? So luckily, 30 years later, I'm still here. You know what I mean? Able to do things like this and have people like yourself on the show and talk about things of that sort. And be in a movie called In the Beginning about, you know what I'm saying, biblical times and things of that sort. So I'm grateful for that. And I'm also grateful. This show is sponsored by Ride Out Energy Drink, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my people who's over at Rough Riders. You know, RIP DMX. I got the new song out, Back at It, where I do over the Get At Me Dog joint. But this is a Rough Riders product, and my show comes on Rough Riders, iHeart, Spotify. And this show is sponsored by Ride Out Energy Drink. And they have energy drinks, motor oil, and dog food. Because, you know, DMX was into energy, dogs, and motorcycles. So that y'all understand why. If you want to try one, you can have it. You can have one.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I want to talk about some of the projects that you were on, because it says you sang with Celine Dion and stuff. How was that experience?
Well, I never met Celine Dion, but I flew out to California to do the job.
Okay.
That's all I have to say about that.
Oh, okay.
It was a beautiful hotel. It was a beautiful, but in a beautiful studio. But I never met her.
So name some of the people that you were involved in, like, you know.
Well, I met Tyrese. I worked with Tyrese on an album called Promises. I'm rhyming on that though. And he's funny, he's cool. And did the video for it was a group called EOL, Elements of Life.
Right.
I Love the Way, where Tyrese was out in California then, but we didn't record in California.
Tyrese is from California, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think he's Cali. He's a Cali brethren. You know what I'm saying? But so you've done a lot of records with a lot of prominent people. So
Whitney Houston's Only Christmas.
Whitney Houston, look at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, y'all. Like, let me get this lady her flowers, man.
Thank you, guys.
That's what we hear.
Soul Child.
Wow, Music Soul Child.
Santana.
Yeah. Maria, Maria. You remind me of a West Side Story. But you didn't sing on that song, though.
Oh, no. This is all different song.
Oh, okay. So who?
Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony. So J-Lo and Mark Anthony?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How did that intertwine in any way? Because they wasn't together back then.
No, totally different, separate project.
You see how 6 Degrees of Separation works, y'all? You know what I'm saying? She was with sang with J-Lo on some songs. She sang with Mark Anthony on other songs, and then years later they got together and had some children and got married and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Here it is. She's on my show. Where I'm so grateful. So you a rapper and a singer.
Yes, I rhyme, and yes.
So you're an MC.
Yes, I can
Okay.
definitely rhyme that.
Well, coming from the Bronx, I'm sure you would be able to rap because that's what really, you know what I mean, started it. I was just looking at something earlier today and they was talking about Lisa and Nicole Jam and how they was kind of like, you know, trying to like block her from being the superstar that she could have been because she has so many big records and shit. And I kind of look at you in that aspect because you've been on a lot of big records and stuff like that, and you never really, with your star never shined the way it should have. But it's a reason why that, because you wasn't able to compromise or sacrifice your soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So do you feel like that was better, that you didn't have to go through that left door and endure some of the things that people are now talking about now?
Most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. I had a big fear of certain people in the industry,
Right.
And just the way they moved, and it just seemed like a whole big sex pot. That's what it just seemed like. Everybody was just high, and you know their minds was just on sex all the time. Why you dress like that? Why you covering your butt? Because I always, you know, would wear long things or always rap and not be too showy, and they
Right.
always question me. I'm like, what the hell, man? Just be me.
Yeah, right. Because you was there for your talent. You wasn't there, you know what I'm saying, to show your ass or do anything questionable to get to where you needed to be. People already was reaching out to you because of your talent. You know what I mean? But you know, you being a beautiful woman and younger in the game at the time, I'm sure a lot of guys was trying to take advantage and making advances at you and stuff like that. How did you fight that off and still was able to get the jobs that you got?
Well, I guess wherever I felt unsafe, I would immediately vacate and only deal with people who were genuinely. Basically, I know I missed a lot of work not dealing with certain people because of out of fear. And I just avoided people that I felt comfortable around.
Right. Well, that's great, man. I'm happy to know that you escaped a lot of the stuff, that there's no traumatic, traumatizing stories that you would have about the things that went on. Sometimes being an introvert isn't bad. It's not bad when you like to be to yourself and you like to just get in, do your job and go, or you just drinking your water and minding your business. Sometimes that's the way to go to avoid some of the traumatizing things that so many people went through in this game. And it's bad, man. Because when people are preying on young, you know what I'm saying, young, innocent people for their own sexual pleasure and everything. And then the weird thing about a lot of this too is that some people got like sodomized or SM, they call it, sexual assaulted, or SE or SA, sexual assaulted. And they did all of that stuff to make it somewhere, and they wound up never making it there. So after the people finish, you know what I mean, sexually assaulting you or whatever like that, now you still didn't go to where you wanted to go. So what was the purpose of even doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I be asking some people now, yo, would you take a 360 deal to get on? And a lot of people will say, yo, if I didn't have anything else going on and that's what I needed, I'll give up a percentage of all of my earnings to get to where I wanted to be. But it be those same artists that say that, and then later they talking, I didn't know they was gonna do something, like Megan Thee Stallion, for instance. She signed a lot of her stuff away just to get on, and then later on down the line, she's like, oh, they robbed me and I didn't know. But you only gonna get what you negotiate and what you accept. You know what I'm saying? If you allow that to happen, then it's gonna happen. Look at Mace. Mace signed with Diddy, but yet when he seen how freaky and nasty shit was going on, he turned the guard and was out of there. And look, now he's back in effect with his day one Cameron, and they doing well on a podcast or sports show talking about sports. And Mace still can get booked and do certain things, but he left the game at the height of his career because he didn't want to be sodomized or essayed or taken advantage of and stuff like that. He saw what was going on, and he was like, nah, I'm not with that. And he stepped away. Some people don't want to step away because they want it so bad that they'll sacrifice their soul to get there.
And then some people have recordings of them while they're high, and they don't know they have recordings until they're presented with them.
Yes.
You know?
And that's coming straight from Shelene Thomas, y'all. She's been in the game for a while, and she know that people will do shit for you. And you can see now it's the actual fact, because those federal agents, when they ran in Puffy house, they wanted his house to get video recordings. that he had of a bunch of celebrities that he was using to, you know what I'm saying, manipulate them and blackmail them. You know what I mean? But whoever he got into a situation with now, that blackmail ain't work because they doing him dirty. He did a lot of people dirty, so they didn't, but they doing it dirty. And how do you feel about that? About now a lot of this stuff being brought to the forefront when you escaped it already? How do you feel about the artists and stuff like that were taking advantage of?
Well, honestly, it seems like the earth is having some kind of cleansing because it seems to be going around all over the place.
Cat Williams started it. He started it.
And just like that plus the woke business and everything of that nature. Can you please repeat the question?
How do you feel about the people that actually went through some of the things that you escaped from being an introvert and not having to go through that? How do you feel about that? Because it's all coming out now, and you were there during it happening, and you decided to escape and get away from that. So, what's your take on that?
Well, I feel actually very sorry for the things that people have gone through because a lot of times it's not their fault. A lot of people are innocent, and like we all know, they just wanted fame and financial freedom, and they didn't deserve whatever they got. Besides what they want, nobody deserves to be mishandled and held against their will. Tied down and having things forced in them. Like, who wants that?
She said, and having things forced in them instead of on them. She said in them because yes, they were tied down, they were drugged, and they were raped. Basically, that's what they're saying that these guys did. And let's not just put it on the black culture, because that Abercrombie and Fitch guy, he was raping them young model men for just as long as Puffy was. He was promising them super model careers, and he was drugging them and raping them. And these were white guys doing this. So let's not just try to say it was black people, black musicians, black executives, because sexual assault to people and things of that sort, you pedophiles and you rapists, y'all are in all nationalities, creeds, colors, and all of that.
Sure. Music business is not just black people.
Exactly.
You just mentioned Celine Dion.
Exactly.
Who knows what she went through in the industry?
Right.
But yeah.
That's crazy, man. Wow. So what would you have to say about the people that are coming up now in the game with the whole internet and everything being exposed? Because believe it or not, there's still people out there trying to take advantage and manipulate people to do things. So what would you have to say to them? Somebody that survived that.
Predators are everywhere. And I say kudos to anyone and everyone who's making it, on their own. If that's what you want to do. You want to own everything that you create. You don't want someone else to do it in someone else's hands. So kudos to everyone that's doing it and making it on their own. Seriously. Yeah.
Yes, the hand clap for that. So what about the people that signed the 360 deals? What you think about that?
360 deals.
360 deals is where labels, they give an artist a deal, and the label gets a percentage of everything that comes out of that deal. Back in the days when you would sign with a label, they would get part of your royalties. They would want to take some of your publishing. But nowadays, the label, they want part of your royalties, your publishing. If you get movie situations out of it, they want that. All of your streaming money from all of the games and everything like that, they want a part of that. Your shows and your touring, they want a part of that. Your merchandise, they want a part of that. Anything that comes out of them signing you and catapulting your career, they want to get paid off of that. And sometimes it's a bigger percentage than you get.
Some people do not have the capacity to manage their own shit. And so they look for managers, they look for this, that, and the third, and they are willing to accept, completely willing to accept whatever percentages that they get. And that's because they don't have the capacity they don't have the business ethics. So that's them. But now people who just do that and they don't read what they're doing, and they complain afterwards as if they can actually manage it. They should have read in between the lines. They should have really taken it to a lawyer. Take your stuff to a lawyer and make sure the lawyer is on your side. Make sure the lawyer is not one of their lawyers. Because
there was a lot of that going on too, where you would go to a label to sign and they'd be like, "Oh, we got a lawyer right here to look it over for you." Right. The lawyer going to tell you that the contract is good if he's working for the company, of course, and you're going to sign it all quick. And plus, back in the days, people wanted to get a deal so bad that sometimes they were like, all right, we want to sign you right now. Motherfuckers signing right there on the spot. They don't even care. They like.
That's because a lot of times they have no money, no food. You know, they're going up there starving, like literally starving. So they got taken advantage of.
So would you say that the people that signed those Raping You Records contracts, being the fact that their back was against the wall, were they right for doing that? Or should they have been rebellious like you and said, nah, I'm not doing that, even though you know your refrigerator was empty? You know what I mean? Should they have done that?
They didn't have experience, so they didn't know what was in store for them. So there's no way, you know, they could have known it. So they're not right or wrong. They were doing what they felt was going to improve their lives.
Right. And you know, one song does change your life. One song will change your life. I know I've been grinding so hard just for one song to pop. I got a lot of hits and I've been grinding, but since this is an independent era, you know what I'm saying, I have to fund it myself and have to go out here and be at every event and make it happen to it happen. But one song, people, will change your life. If you got your record registered and you really collecting all your song trust and sound exchange and your BMI or ASCAP or whatever of your record, and that record takes off, you will eat good for forever. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, actually, this is the reason why a lot of these labels back then was stealing all of these artists' publishing, because that's generational wealth for us Black people, because we're the talented ones. We're the ones writing these songs. We're the ones, like, I just was watching something earlier that Elvis' whole style was from this Black artist.
A woman.
You know what I'm saying? No, it was a guy, actually, who sang just like Elvis, doing all of that shit. That was his whole style that Elvis took when he was like.
Hound Dog was sung by a Black woman first.
There you go. See, there you go. See, even they stole from us so badly back then that it's preposterous how we're not really the ones that's really running this business. That's what's weird to me, how we ain't really running this stuff. But it's so many years of the foolery and the signing people and taking their publishing and doing all of that, like, and it was passed on down, because they said, even with Diddy, and I don't want to keep going back to him, but he was groomed, like you said, to be just like these white label executives, because he took the Locks publishing and signed it over to his children, and they were eating off of the Locks music in the beginning, his sons and daughters. So he was doing exactly what them executives was doing to the first Black artist. He was doing as a Black man that was now getting new younger artists and making it happen, because that publishing and the royalties is your generational wealth. You got some people, like I know certain producers that produce big records, they be kind of broke, and then out of nowhere, a $80,000 check hits their fucking mailbox from a song that they did a while ago that was picked up by some commercial or something like that. So it's generational wealth forever. So artists, we here right now is two prominent artists, and I'm gonna get our next guest up here soon, but you have to know what you're doing and make sure that you cover your ass when you're doing this stuff. This is an era now where you can go online and you can look shit up. Back in the days, it was no internet, and you were trusting people that you thought was really wanted to see your best interest in mind, but that wasn't the case. But nowadays, you can read up on shit. Somebody gives you a contract, you can call your lawyer. Call a lawyer. It don't even have to be your lawyer. Call a lawyer that's not down with that organization and have them read it over for you for a couple dollars. And make sure that you're getting what you're supposed to get, because you don't want to be coming around crying later saying, oh, they did this and they did that and I didn't know. Now, Twitter fingers, everything is right at your grasp. You know what I'm saying? So, Math, look, what where we at right now? How far are we into the episode? Because I want to get into some other. All right. So what I want to tell people is that we're going to have, you know what I mean, Shelene Thomas and, you know what I mean, Ike Floyd perform this Thursday at HQ Lounge. Doors open up at 7 o'clock, and I want y'all to pull up, see store where they've been at, how they, you know what I mean. She's involved with a lot of songs. May I say, what should people look forward to seeing you live on stage?
I'm sorry, but I really don't have. I don't really have that prepared.
Well, we gonna get it prepared before Thursday. You heard? Today is now Sunday. We got a couple days for us to put together a nice little segment for her to do all of the songs that you were involved in. I want you to do all of them records that you had a part to do, and we're gonna do it like that. So come out.
We'll see what happens.
Yes, but she will be in the building, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was an artist yesterday at this event that I was at. He was actually rapping over the Uchi Wally beat. His name is Troy Slugs, and he's a very good artist, prominent artist, grinding real hard. And he got a little freestyle over that beat. And I was like, yo, Troy, I'm gonna have Mrs. Uchi Wally at my event on Thursday. You need to pull up since you're rapping over the song that she made so big. You should pull up and stuff like that. And a lot of artists that's like to rap over them songs, y'all need to pull up, come meet her, you know what I'm saying, and see what y'all can do. If y'all got some good records and y'all possibly want to book her to be on y'all songs, y'all can do that, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I mean? It's March 27th. That's this Thursday coming up. HQ Lounge, 1609 Nostrand Avenue, across Tilden's across street. Doors open up at 7. $10 entry fee. Come out, watch us do our thing. We're gonna work. It's gonna be me, Snooze Daily, Shelene Thomas, and Ike Floyd. Y'all don't know he's gonna do that song. He coming up next, and we're gonna talk more about it later. But you know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be Thursday. It's gonna be crazy in there, y'all. We're gonna make this crazy and shit like that. So aside from me telling them the new show and stuff that we're gonna be doing, what's next for you?
Well, I'm doing a lot of art, visual art. So I'm really trying to take my art to the next level. There's this woman who gets on me because I'm too nice, she says, with my prices or whatever. So I need to get into the art world. So that's what I'm doing, the visual art world at this point in time. Music will never stop. So it's continuing.
Yes. Music soothes the savage beast. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But art kind of soothes you as well. Because what do you get out of when you do art? Like, how does it make you feel?
It's very therapeutic. Plus, you know, just like music is. And I get money out of it. I get people's pleasure, just like with music. Art is kind of like the same thing. So, you know,
but it's not as treacherous as the music game. The art.
Oh no, not at all, not at all. But then you get your people that's jealous and that want to, you know, kind of rip you down, knock you down, and this, that, and third. But you know, keep it moving just like any other business.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So, what do you when you do your art? You paint, you draw, you use pencils, markers.
I do every kind of thing. I do pencils, markers, paint, acrylic paint. I haven't done oil paint in a long time. It takes too long to dry. So I stick with acrylic.
Oh, okay.
And other types of mediums as well. You know, paper, plastics, this, that, and third.
So where can some of the people go and see your art?
Okay, there's a museum in Hempstead that has a little bit of my art. African American Museum in Hempstead. Wow,
y'all heard that? African American. Hand clap to that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Word. We all about our peoples in here, man. Like I'm one show that is really about my peoples. Like you know what I mean? I look out for everybody. Like I'm cool with everybody and all that, but I'm about my people. So you know what I mean? You said that, you know what I mean? That's great because you know Long Island is like really Indian territory. You know what I'm saying? Which was stolen by a lot of the white people and stuff like that. But there's a lot of land here that has a lot of very historical background and black heritage to it, but it was all stolen, and a lot of the paperwork on it was burned or destroyed, so nobody would never know what it was really about, and people wanted to take control over that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very strong on that right there. So you know what I mean? I'm just a person that's very headstrong about my peoples and stuff. And if y'all wanted to, my personal opinion, if y'all wanted to be, you know what I mean, segregated or whatever, like for instance, when I go to certain Jewish communities, they all have their own everything and everything like that. And they're flourishing. They're doing fine with their own schools, their own police, their own ambulances, everything like that. And they're doing fine. But it seems that when our people try to do it from Black Wall Street to wherever, you know what I mean, the government bombed everything that we tried to do to be on our own. And I think one of the problems that Malcolm X had with Martin Luther King is that he wanted inclusion with everything, and we would have been doing fine without it. You know what I'm saying? Once we were supposedly freed, you know, everybody could have been flourishing and doing their own thing, but everybody wanted to be included in everything, and that was the problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on that. But I don't want to get too revolutionary and political and shit like that when it comes to stuff like that. But y'all, yeah, we have Shelene Thomas here. She sang on Uchi Wally. She sang on Whitney Houston records. Celine Dion, J Lo, Music Soul Child, Tyrese. You sing on a lot of people's records. So if we pull up a song right now, like we would hear you on it.
Pull up Monifa's View.
Monifa, oh, that was a Monifa song. And I like Monifa too. Right here, this one right here, right?
Yes. I
Yeah.
just happened to turn on the radio and it's playing. I didn't do no paperwork, nothing. It was a demo.
So basically, you saying Heavy D kind of got you.
Yeah.
See?
That's one of
So
the-
what was it that you? Let's talk about this record in particular. So what was it? Did you write the record or did you just sing the record? Like how? What did you do and
The
contribute
hook was
to?
already written.
Okay.
I just went and demoed it.
Oh, so you demoed it, then he brought it to her, and then she wound up singing.
She wound up singing the song and my hook stayed on the
Mm.
record.
And you never made no money off that.
Pretty much.
Wow. So us playing this record right now and giving this a view, you ain't gonna eat off of it.
It doesn't matter.
No, I know I'm gonna play it, but I'm just saying, like, this is how this thing worked. Like, a lot of people now that are part of records, they're not really eating off of the generational wealth off the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna get some people's on that. So soon.
See? And look at that. You know what I mean? Lawyers, y'all. Get y'all lawyers together and go in there and get what you deserve. Because a lot of money was made off this record. Somebody's eating off of the publishing and the royalties off this record. And she's a part of it. And we're going to play it right now. And we're going to hear her on this joint. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Matthew, let me see this one. There we go. I know YouTube probably going to try to block us, but you know what I mean? I don't hear nothing.
I muted you.
Okay. That's you on this hook, right? Yeah, see? I really like this song right here.
I remember this song. This is my
Yeah.
shit back in the day.
You know what? I opened up a few times for Monifa.
I remember.
Yeah, I didn't know. See? Look at that. Yep, because Heavy D was in charge of this artist right here too.
It was nasty. I don't even know if it was time. It was nasty. And then he did not sing.
Yeah, I heard about it.
And the only time I met him real quick was during this session.
Yeah, I ain't doing front. I think Puff was groomed by Heavy D and Andre. We're not gonna give him the whole song. We're gonna after this hook, we're gonna come back.
Gotcha.
And then I'm gonna have her, you know what I'm saying? Give all her information and stuff like that. And then we're gonna bring Ike up.
I remember that song. That was my song.
All right, turn that mics up.
Let me switch it back.
Go ahead, you can finish it off, man. Yeah, y'all. So that was a Monifa song, and it was actually Shelene Thomas on that hook right there that she was talking about. She sang that hook for the demo it, and the Heavy D and them and Andre Harrell and them from that label, they wound up keeping Shelene Thomas's voice in the hook and gave the song to Monifa. And you know, she never really received the proper payment and royalties for that joint. So that right there is clearly a testament to show y'all that there's people out here that really was involved with big records that's still not reaping the benefits off their records. You know what I'm saying? So you said you about to see a lawyer. We're gonna try to see what's up with that. And Monifa, I really like you too. Like I've opened up for you before. I filmed you multiple times and stuff like that. But I'm sure she probably don't even know.
Right, she had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, she probably don't even know. You know what I'm saying? She just was getting on and making it happen. But there's a lot of guys that were in the industry that were groomed to go out there and groom other people to do some real questionable things to people and take people's careers and things of that sort. You know what I mean? But again, like I said, we're going to be performing this Thursday, the 27th, March 27th. Doors open up at 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? We got Shelene Thomas. You know what I'm saying? We got Ike Floyd from the BB&G band. We got Snooze Daily, and we got myself. And there'll be a couple of other surprise people in the building. You know what I mean? Doors open up at 7. It's $10 cover to get in. You know what I mean? It's Old School Thursdays this Thursday, March 27th. Pull up. I want you to see y'all in the building. HQ Lounge. You know what I mean? I want y'all to come out and see us live. Just see us do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Yes, definitely have some fun. I'm not a drinker anymore. You're not a drinker. Ike's not a drinker.
From time to time.
Yeah, like I could have a drink. It's not like it's against my religion or nothing like that. I choose not to drink because I'm trying to cut out carbs and stuff like that. But I could have a drink in my life. Yes. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to cut that out. But, you know, never know. We might pop a bottle of champagne or something in there just to celebrate the things that we're doing together now. Things of that sort. And y'all can book her to get Hook Sang or collab with her or even buy her art. How would they be able to contact you for that?
You can contact me on Instagram, Instagram. Just my name, SHELENE Thomas.
Right.
THOMAS. And you can contact me that way.
So you could tell if I was on some grimy shit, I'm like, just contact me and I'll take care of everything. You know what I'm saying? But nah, we're not doing that here. We letting everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we all grown.
Yes. We all our own entities and we working together to make some shit happen. So that's what that is. But tell them again how they can contact you.
Instagram, just my name, Shelene Thomas.
That's SHELENE Thomas. Y'all know how to spell Thomas for sure. You know what I mean? And reach out to her and you could get some things happen. But you can also see her in person this Thursday, March 27th at HQ Lounge, 1609 Nostrand Avenue, Cross Street, Tilden. Doors open up at 7, $10 cover. You know what I mean? Shout out to the people over there at HQ Lounge. Shout out to Boss Kim and all of that. That's giving us the venue space and the opportunity to make things happen. And we appreciate y'all for letting us come in and do our thing.
I'm looking forward to having some fun.
Yes, we definitely gonna have some fun, and we're gonna do a great show, and it's gonna be documented all on GRINDHARD TV Podcast, and we're gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to thank you for being on the show because we're gonna bring up our next guest. You know what I'm saying? I actually want to pull up this song real quick. You know what I mean?
While we switch off so we could do
Yeah.
it.
Yes, definitely. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I'm glad that you definitely came up, and I'm looking forward to seeing you perform live, man. Like I really want to see you perform some of these songs.
I'll do a couple of originals and a
Yes.
couple of covers.
Yes,
You know?
and you got all the time you want. You know what I'm saying? There's no, you coming in, you can only do 2 songs. Whatever my guests want to do, y'all can do. And I'm sounding like I'm from Baltimore right now. Whatever y'all want to do, you can do. Shout out to my guy, you know what I'm saying, Duke Live out of Baltimore and shit. I just was on his show listening to it and stuff like that. So we're gonna go into a song, and then we're gonna come back with our other guests, you know what I'm saying? Ike Floyd, the uncle of George Floyd. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about when we be back. Thank you, Shelene Thomas, for being on the show. We're gonna be back with more. It's your boy WORLDORAMA, GRINDHARD TV Podcast.
Yo, BBQ band.
Oh, it's BBQ. Because why I say BBNQ band?
Yeah, you can say the BBNQ.
Oh,
But
okay.
you said another letter.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Get out of here. Nice to meet you, man.
You didn't know that was him, man? Watch the wires. Come on, come sit down, my guy.
I'll show you. This is a song for his.
Yeah, this him singing it. That's him.
Wow.
See, I told you people don't know. He gonna come back and fix everything up. To say the music that we made. Ain't together, is that yeah? And that's the camera right there too. So, are you ready or not? Boom, 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 boom. Everybody's dancing.
I ain't gonna tell you a lot of stuff about this stuff in Manhattan.
We're gonna talk about all of that right now. This is your time to say everything you want to say, my guy. Yo, we got Ike Floyd right here, you know what I'm saying, from the BB&Q band, and this is their song. You can hear it. Former lead vocalist. They got somebody else. We'll talk about that when we get back to the show. I know the people that's on the live is watching. John. The music that we made.
You never know who's who.
Bro.
You never know who's who.
Yeah, it's my brother's son, my man.
Are you ready?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody dancing. Everybody's on the beat. I know y'all remember this song, whoever's on his lives.
Definitely know this song.
How old were you here?
27.
Wow.
Hey, when it came out, this was like maybe like 12 years ago.
I was 7.
What year?
81.
Yeah, I was 6.
Still playing with that.
Are you still in tune with any of these guys?
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, actually, Paris, they had the bass player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's independent, brother. He's doing some other stuff now. And the keyboard player, Kevin Nance,
right?
He moved to Delaware because I can touch him.
Okay.
He's a player.
Right.
And
y'all kind of look alike, you and him.
Yeah, and then the drummer Dwayne produced, he used some drums. So, but I don't use that cat anymore.
Right.
Got a new cat, Tamario, younger cat.
Right.
Matter of fact, the bass player, Harris Ford here.
Right.
I got another brother, Leroy, some new cats in there.
Right.
That I can really call. We could do a live show, but I do track shows. You know? But if I call any of these cats, I can get them. I mean, not these cats yet.
Right.
The new guys.
So when you perform these records, well, I want to talk about that when we come back from the live. Like the live is going, but when he starts with everything back. All right, we're about to come back after this. Hold on, let me do this part. Are you ready or not? Everybody's dancing and everybody's on the beat.
There you go.
Right after this hook. All right, let's go.
Remember the hand claps.
All right. Yeah, y'all heard that. Y'all see what it is. We back, man. GRINDHARD TV Podcast. I'm here with my next guest. You know what I mean? Y'all heard that song that was playing on the beat. That was a big, big record when that came out. That was a big, big record. And I want y'all to know the lead singer that's singing on that joint right now, that is Ike Floyd right here, y'all. Let's go. Make some noise. Yeah. Got it right here, man. Now, I want to get into a lot of stuff about that record because we just had Selene Thomas here, as you see, and we was talking about a lot of stuff in the industry and things of that sort. First off, I want to say this episode is sponsored by Ride Out Energy Drink. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rough Riders Radio because that's my show is on along with S Street Media and iHeart, Spotify. Ride Out Energy Drink. If y'all do energy drinks, y'all can do that. RIP DMX. You know what I'm saying? The back out of singles out right now. I don't know if you drink energy drinks. Okay, well then that's for you. You know what I'm saying? I got gifts for my guests. You know what I'm saying? But so y'all was listening to the On the Beat song, that was the biggest record off that band, right? then that was a big record because when I was younger, I loved the record. So when you told me that you sang that record and I pulled it up, I'm like, oh shit, like serious? Like that shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I really like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, that you still here doing your thing.
Oh, yeah.
But what I don't like is that we in the car together and I don't know that it's you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that right there tells me that you ain't really getting your shine that you deserve for having a big hit record out there, because like we was talking about earlier, one hit record can change a person's lives as long as everything is handled correctly and paperwork and all of that stuff. So I want you to tell me, like, how was that experience with you being with that band, and how is the splits when it's a band of like 13 people and you're the lead singer? Like, how does that work?
Ooh, well, they're just like hired musicians.
Okay.
You know, they get a certain percentage, but which I would get more because I don't really vocals.
Right.
But they just like hired musicians, and so they get like a certain percentage. If they want to go, they can go. If they don't want to go for the price that they're going for, they don't have to.
Right.
But like I said, a lot of cats go for it because they broke and they want to be out there and work.
Right.
So that's what's up with that.
So that song, this song right here, this hit record right here, did you write that or somebody wrote it?
Somebody else wrote it, but that's what's got 10%.
Okay.
Because like you say, I went in for the audition and auditioned 13 guys.
Right.
My buddy Doc Powell that was playing with Change. My producer, which was Freddie Petrus, he was our producer, BBQ Band, and Change. Okay. Which that was Luther Vandross at the time.
Oh, okay.
Before Luther went solo. And then Never Too Much. That was his first big.
That's one of my favorite records too.
So,
Never too much, never too much.
So matter of fact, Luther did 2 songs behind the BBQ because we was all filming together.
Okay.
And auditioned 13 guys, and my buddy Doc Powell told me, said, I got a buddy, IKE FLOYD, to come down here and kill this stuff, man. Okay. So, they were flying from England, from Italy. Okay. So, the way they talked, as easy as I had to really pay attention to listen to see what they were saying. Like, yeah. Funny more to make sure I didn't get jabbed around too much. Right. So I went down, man. I got down like at 7 o'clock. This was Capitol Records. And he gave me the paperwork, and so he got down on the piano. He said, "This is what I want you to do." So I was going. I had the paper, checked it out. Okay, we tried. He put the soundtrack on. Right. It was so heavy. And I said, "Oh my God, what did I get into?" Wow. My very first actually big recording. And I said, "Oh man," so he said, "You good?" I said, "I'm good." And my mouth man did the first line. He stopped me. I said, "Did I fuck up? What did I do? Oh my God. This is a big chance that I mess up." So he said, "Can you start the album Thursday?" This was on a Tuesday night. Wow. So he gave me the tracks and had his voice on them to let me know I didn't carry the song. Right, sing it like this. Yeah, he do the same thing like what Shelene did. Right. No? But then we'll put you in it though. And that's what I did, man. So actually I was driving truck, local truck during that time. Right. And I had a local band. Okay. So I said, "Oh my God, this is it." So I had to tell my sister-in-law, she was on supervisor. I had to get her to tell the big man that I got a girl pregnant down south in North Carolina, and I had to go. Because if they knew I was leaving the truck to go sing, they didn't believe in that shit. Right. So they said, "Oh, well, you can stay and do that and don't come back." Right. So we had to tell a lie, God forgive us that. Right. So anyway. But it worked out for you. Oh, that lie worked. So I went down, man, and I started the album on Thursday and finished that Sunday night. I did 5 songs. Yeah. That was lit, man. How was that? How was that experience? Like, from you driving a truck to you now being a singer, like how did that take off? How did that change your career? Oh, man, I always been a singer all my life. My whole family sings. I'm actually from North Carolina, and my family grew up with the gospel music. Okay. And I mean, everybody sang and did the instrument. But as we got bigger, grew up more, we always kind of separated, split up. Because I even lived in Oakland, California for like 10 years. Right. So, and we kind of, one way, there was like 6 boys and 2 girls. So we all sang, man. So my mom told us a long time ago we could have beat the Jacksons out. Every family was because everybody in my family could lead sing. Everybody in Michael Jackson family couldn't. Right. You understand? Right. And we played instruments, and just the 2 brothers played, but we all played. And where we was at North Carolina, white folks ain't gonna go that shit. Of course. So other than that, man, if we'd have been in the same place that Jackson was, Gary, and when Gladys Knight came through, right, we'd have been living in that mansion in California. I ain't gonna front, man. Being this right here,
having this goldness in our system, because this is more precious than gold. It's melanin. Like this shit is a gift and a curse, bro. It's the greatest gift and one of the wildest curses. But this shit is the most precious thing out here. This melanin, boy. You know what I'm saying? So getting back to family, I want to let everybody know, like, you are actually George Floyd's uncle.
Yes.
His brother. Your brother
my brother's son.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like right there. That's your first nephew. It's not no six generations down. Directly.
Son, my nephew.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, when I went to Minnesota the first year, I killed a lot of people. Thought I was his father. You know, it was like, wow, she's not my brother's son. Just, man, you got just like, you know, a lot of people see a difference. So, you know. Right. And
how was that though? Tell the people, man, like, how did that affect you? Because that affected. I'm gonna go into it. That affected me very, very bad,
man. Well, it's still on the family, you know, they're gonna leave,
right?
But we're trying to cool out from a little bit. But you know, they have stuff every year now. They got a global memorial. It used to just be like they got together on that date, right? But now it's a global memorial. I don't really know what they'll do this year. But like you say, last year it was at Paisley Park. That was Prince's place, right? And I performed there. And my girl wrote a song, "Justice Was Served." And she loved writing. And I'm a musician, guitar player, you know, right, singing all that. So she wrote the song to "Justice Was Served." Because Derek Chauvin, the one that had me on my nephew, he was charged with all 3 counts. And then the other 3 policemen that next year was charged with all 3 counts. So that means justice was served. So that means she wrote the song "Justice Was Served." I arranged it and everything. But what I did, my buddy that played with Luther Vandross for 22 years, right, John Skip Anderson, and he played with the BBQ first. Okay. So when I left the group after the first year, he left too. Okay. And he got to audition with Luther and with Mary since. As a matter of fact, he's on a lot of most of the rest of his album since Never Too Much. And he did all the music on it. I sent him the music that I did and told him what I wanted. And he did it and sent it back, man. And we should have brought something here we can play that tonight, you know. Yeah. But well, we're gonna listen, they got March 27th, this Thursday. Come through. Justice Was Served can be performed by you and everything. You play it, perform it. Don't forget, y'all, March 27th, 7 p.m., HQ Lounge, 1609 Nostrand Avenue. Doors open up at 7. It's a $10 cover to get in, and you could hear him perform the "Justice Was Served" song about George Floyd, because this is his uncle. Now, I want to speak on that because just this morning I was looking at something on the news, and they was talking about the whole Trump situation and everything like that. And they said how the cop was on George Floyd's back for 28 minutes, his neck for 28 minutes, and he said, "I can't breathe" 28 times. When he was saying, "Help me, please, I can't breathe," 28 times. So that means every minute that he was on him, he told him that I couldn't breathe. Yeah. Exactly. You know, when I was looking at that footage, I noticed when George Floyd peed on himself, you could see the pee trickling down to the curb. Down there, over the area. Yes, exactly. He couldn't hold his pee no more. He was saying, "Get off me, please, help mom." When they picked him up off the ground, finally, when the paramedics came and Chauvin wouldn't get off his neck, man. Right. He should have been gotten off, but he was dead then. Because when he picked him up the ground and flopped like that. Yeah, the lifeless body. That's what it was. He tried to bring him back when he was in the paramedic. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a fucking came off the ground. 9 minutes and some change on his neck. Come on. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Like, yo, my condolences to you, but condolences to all of us as Black people, man, and I feel so angry because what I would always say was that those people that were standing around and filming, like that guy that was there filming, like, "Come on, man, what are y'all doing?" All you had to do was go over there and push one of them cops, and they would have had to get up off him because they would have now had to deal with you. So it's a lot of people that always say what shoulda, coulda, woulda, what you would have did. Yeah, but actually, I think a lot of them didn't really go over and do just what you said because they got shot. They were scared. They got shot. I ain't gonna front. I think that little Filipino cop that was standing there guarding it, he wasn't shooting nobody. Yeah, I don't think he was too scared. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if somebody would have just intervened, then that would have took some of the pressure away from them pressing on his neck, and then they would have tried to stop anybody that would have got in. And it would have been a bullshit ass case.
for anything. If somebody would have came to intervene, it wouldn't have been nothing serious. But people was there just filming and talking when they killing him right there in your face. You know what I'm saying? So that was my gripe with that. That, you know what I mean? Like if there's somebody there, like a real warrior that was gonna stand on business, they would have really went and intervened and shit like that. Because that cop that was standing there blocking him, he was scared. He was standing like, just stay back, just stay back. Like if you could have just went up to him and like did anything.
Young rookies, they follow
exactly
did what he said.
Exactly. You know what I mean? He was the racist murderer that was like, yeah, we're gonna kill this guy and shit like that. Then all of these other stories came out later about, oh, he was a drug addict, he was on this, he was on that. You know what I'm saying? How you feel about that with that being your nephew and they saying all this shit about him and he dead? He can't speak up for himself. How do you feel about
I think like, man, a person can do what they want to do, and especially if they grown. And for them to say that, I mean, it's bad for the family to be exposed to that type of thing.
Right.
Even if he was getting high, the way it still happened shouldn't have happened that
exactly.
way. They could have carried him to jail. He'd still been alive today. But actually what it was, man, Sean and my nephew had a competition a while back. My nephew was the head security at this club bar. And he was police and got a part-time job there.
Right.
And the ladies, man, especially the white girls, especially I remember sorry, the love brothers.
Right.
And they was all on him. He got a little jealous. They had a little scuffle, He said, I'm the head security, you police out there, but I'm the head security here. He was telling the truth, maybe this ain't been told on my podcast or whatever, but I'm telling it. And they had a run in. So he was arresting somebody else when they called him and told him they had George. And then he stopped what he was doing to come over there. And as soon as he came, you can see when he got out of the car, he was putting his gloves on, and he knew it was him, and that's when it all started.
Damn, you know what? That's information that nobody else knows. That this fucking racist ass, jealous ass cop practically killed George Floyd because they had a little altercation in the club, and the white women was on George Floyd and not on his ghostly looking ass. Yeah. Y'all hearing this directly from his uncle. This is George Floyd's uncle, Ike Floyd, from BB and the Q band. This is real. I'm kind of heated now that you told me that information, man. That shit making me kind of upset.
Sometimes it pisses me off.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's some bullshit because I went through something like that. I'm gonna tell my story. Like I was working in Manhattan at a company called ABM. It's American Buildings Maintenance, but they call it Albanian Building Maintenance because all the Albanians kind of took it over. It was a maintenance thing, right? Yeah. So I was working in this building on 51st Street in Lexington. And, when you work in Manhattan, you're going to see a lot of attractive women coming in with their little skirts, suit skirts or whatever looking good, with their little feet and toes out and shit like that. And it's summertime, it's nice. But I go there and I'm the sociable person like I am. And the girls in the building, they loving me. And I was a temp. I worked through that temp agency. They sent me to different buildings to do maintenance, right? So the regular, the poppies that work there, because there was a couple of Spanish guys that worked there, older men, they obviously see these ladies every day and be like flirting with them or just saying, nice, sweet shit to them. But they never had an opportunity with them. But here it is, I come, this young, black, strapping man, and I'm very sociable, and these women start liking me. So during my lunch break, these women would come down to the loading dock area and chill with me on my lunch break. So this was my lunch break. This wasn't like I was not doing my job and having these women that work in this building come to me. They was coming down to me and chilling with me on my lunch break because they liked me. It was, very social, right? So one day the boss called me into the office and I'm like, yo, what happened? And she was like, hey, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, what? So, okay, how you doing? What happened? He said, well, I got information from some of the permanents here that the maintenance people in the building that you're not doing your job effectively. So I'm like, man, what do you mean? Like I'm coming to work every day, I'm cleaning, whatever they tell me to do, I'm doing it, no problem. She was like, well, they saying that you're not coming here on time and you're not doing your job or whatever like that. And I couldn't understand why they were saying that, but then it came to me that they were jealous that these little Spanish mommies in this building was coming to see me during my break time. So when she said all of that to me, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know really what to tell you, but I do my job. I'm here every day at UC, and all I want to do is work. And she was like, well, we're going to have to let you go. I said, what? I'm like, why? Like, she was like, we can't use you here anymore. Those little Spanish men told her that I wasn't doing my job and I wasn't coming to work on time. all because they were jealous that those women from that building, they was coming to talk to me and see me. Now, when she let me go, it was September 10th, 2001. So when I left, I was furious. I was angry as hell. I called the company and I said, look, they let me go. I don't have to place me somewhere else. I don't know what to do, whatever. Because you know, anytime you get fired from a job, you're frustrated, you're angry, and you're wondering where you're going to get your next buck from. And I left. I went home. I was a little salty and I went to sleep. But the next day, some of my friends called me and they was like, yo, World, where you at? Son, you all right? You good? I'm like, I'm waking up. I'm like, yo, what do you mean? Like, am I good? Like, I'm high. But mind you, it was 9 something in the morning when the planes hit. I was supposed to be in Manhattan. But since them hating ass guys fired me, I didn't have to go to Manhattan the next day. The next day is when the World Trade Center happened. So those guys hating on me and telling them, oh, I'm not doing my job because they was jealous of their women in that building being on me, they saved me from having to go to Manhattan and having to go through that whole World Trade Center shit. Now, I wasn't nowhere near it because I was on 51st Street and this was downtown Manhattan. But that smoke from them buildings been killing people still now to this day. You know what I'm saying? One of my aunt-in-laws, she passed away. 14 years later. She died a few years, like 14 years later. It's been a while since she's been going out, but she died all of these years later because of that smoke that she breathed in from all of that asbestos and all of the toxic things from the building crashing. So you two hating ass men that told my supervisor that I wasn't doing my job to make that lady fire me on September 10th, 2001, y'all actually saved me from getting cancer of the lungs. You know what I'm saying? So I like to thank you haters that be hating.
I think at the time, my nephew Terrence, George's brother, lived in Brooklyn, and he was working for a tray, I think, the door or something. At the time, he came out the house. He said, "Oh man, I left my keys." Went back in the house. When he came back out, he started playing dirty when it hit. Boom!
Exactly.
There too, you know? So
So you never know what your fate is going to be. Whatever's going to save you from being in a situation, it was destiny and it was supposed to happen. So yeah, I was very mad and furious that I lost that job that day. But the fact that those guys hated on me over my energy that I have, that saved me from going to Manhattan and possibly breathing in some poisonous fumes that would have took me out years later. So thank you, haters. You know what I mean? Exactly. So you just said that George Floyd's brother lives in New York too as well, right?
In Brooklyn.
So how was it that a lot of y'all all relocated to New York? Is that before the whole situation, or some family was out there, some family was here?
Actually, George was born in North Carolina. That's where I'm from.
Right.
He was born in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Right.
That he lived there since he was like 3 years old. And my brother and George's mother, they're separated.
Right.
So she moved to Texas, Houston, when George was like 3, turning 4. So he grew up there, and then he left from there. I think he got to leave home.
Right.
And moved to Minnesota. From there. Yeah.
So that's crazy.
But actually, that my oldest brother came up from North Carolina first, and then everything was so boring that actually for me, like working, farming and all this type of shit, I couldn't get with it, man. So I was introduced to New York when I was 14.
Right.
So I came up in the summer, and I go back home. I said, "Oh man, I get bored." And I go back home. I said, "I love New York." I'm the baby boy of my family.
Right.
And my mom say, "So, my oldest brother, you make sure you take care of my baby boys." I got him.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've been here ever since, man.
Yo,
I grew up in Spring Valley, Rockland County.
Okay.
But I've been in Brooklyn now for 10 years.
Yeah, so you from Brooklyn now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, man, Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
It's,
So yo, it's crazy to me because everybody from different countries, different states and stuff like that, they come to New York and they see how fast the life is, and people don't want to let that go. When you go back to the hillbilly towns where it's nothing but, tractor trailers and cornfields and all of that stuff. Stores close at a certain time. If you don't got a car, you got to walk 2 miles to get to the store. But you come here to New York, you don't even need a car. You jump on a train 24 hours a day, buses, cabs, whatever. It's always popping. You know what I'm saying? And that just draws you in. So I can see why so many people come to New York and they want to stay, because they say it's a city that never sleeps. In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of, ain't nothing you can do. Yo, so I want to get back to you and the band. You know what I mean? Like, what are some of the cities that you've been at off of these records that you performed?
From the South Farm all the way to Alabama, man, all the East Coast, and then Midwest, man, Detroit, and man, Ohio, Denver. I didn't get a chance to go overseas, so
Okay.
you know, and that's where these cats was actually from, you know. But anything on the East Coast, man, I did stuff, man, with Teddy Pendergrass, man, myself, you know, Freddie Jackson, man, Melvin Moore, man. In fact, I did stuff with Melvin Moore on the album, The Manhattans, you know, Michael Urbaniak, Jocelyn Brown, Carter, I love him, you know, all
Damn.
I mean, Lisa Morgan was my background vocalist when I was on tour with the band.
Wow.
She, Do Me Baby, and you know that.
Do me, baby.
And, she was really young, man, but she was a tough girl. And, you know, I had a lot of fun, man.
Yo.
And SOS Band, Midnight Star. And man, God, Frankie Smith, Double Dutch Buzz, that guy,
wow,
ran into him, and man, he just maybe a few other artists I can't remember, but other than that, I was there.
Yeah, you could definitely had a very flourishing big career. Yeah. Are you still eating off them records?
Nah. Well, yeah. When I do live performance.
Well, yeah, you eat off of, you know, doing shows and stuff like that, but the royalties and stuff like that. So who owns the rights and the royalties to that? Is it the guys from Europe?
Well, I'm saying, well, actually, the main man from Europe got killed because he owed so many people who was driving and drinking. Like me, I signed for $40,000. That was the first I got. So there was options, 2 to 3 year contract,
right?
Which I was gonna get more the next year, but that was just to start me,
right? But
then after a few things went down, the first 5 songs, and then get the royalties 10%,
right? And
then that's when the shit started. You know,
okay,
like, went south. And then I ended up leaving, and this other guy, I did 2 songs on the new album, Imagination, and then after I left, and then the guy that was doing background on tour with me,
right,
got the lead part. He redone the 2 songs that I did, try to mimic me, try to sound like
me. Of course he did.
But like
you were the voice of that.
Couldn't really pull it off. But like you say, On the Beat was the biggest hit that BQ had, period, and that was me.
Yo, that song is heavy.
It was number 9 in the Billboard charts for 7 weeks in a row.
That song is heavy, bro. Yeah. Like, I ain't gonna front, like, that song is heavy. You know what I'm saying? And I really, that's crazy because when I was younger, before hip hop was really big, it was only like disco, R&B, and all of that stuff. So that's all you really knew. You know what I mean? So I remember singing. So I thought I could sing back in the days. You know what I mean? So I would listen to a lot of the records. My moms would always be playing certain songs and stuff like that, and I would love it. You know what I mean? Before there was hip hop videos and all of that stuff, it was only when MTV and all that first came out, even on Video Music Box. It wasn't no hip hop videos yet. You know what I'm saying? It was playing like Cyndi Lauper, Lisa, Nicole Jam, and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? And that's the stuff. Lionel Richie, Gladys Knight. Like, that's how I remember all of this stuff, because coming up, I only remember these singers or these pop artists and stuff like that. And that's the music that we had until hip hop came and took over like a thief in the night. You know what I'm saying? So to have you here on the show, like, knowing that was a song that I used to be singing back in the days and shit like that, and having you with me, like, I'm honored to have my guest in the building today. I don't know, man. Like, this is a big deal for me. Look, when I think her name was Teresa or something, from the lady from the movie, because she told me, she was like, look, I need you to go pick somebody up to come to the show. So when I came and picked you up, and then you said Tawana, and we were talking, and you told me who you were, and I was like, okay, I heard that before, but what song was it? So we in the car driving, and I'm looking up, and then I played a song, and I'm like, this is you? And I hear you talking. And then I know the words to the song, and I'm like, yeah, that is. I was like, I ain't gonna front. I was kind of like fanned out at the car, wasn't I? I was kind of fanned out, like, yo, that's you. I called somebody, like, yo, you know who I got to call me right now? Yeah, I ain't gonna front. It was hype. That goes to show you that, yo, you've done a lot for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Having these songs out there, making people happy, making people dance, and that's a big look right there. You know what I mean? And it's weird with the 6 degrees of separation of how you made music that was so happy and fulfilling to people, and then you have that background with your nephew and all of that stuff. And that was a big prominent situation right there, because when that happened, America changed. You know what I'm saying? It was different after that from what had happened with George Floyd and everything like that. So again, my condolences to you and your family for that. And I'm happy that you was able to put that piece out there to let people know that that cop was just a jealous, hating motherfucker that was mad and had a gripe against George Floyd. So there's a reason why he stayed on his neck that long. Because exactly. That's why his ass is guilty. You know what I'm saying? But look, if y'all want to definitely see Ike Floyd perform, you know what I'm saying, them hits and more, this Thursday, March 27th at HQ Lounge, 1609 Nostrand Avenue. Doors open up at 7. $10 cover to get in. Come through. It's going to be nice. Don't want to hear no excuses. Y'all want to see us rock out? Shelene Thomas, Ike Floyd, Worldorama, you know what I'm saying? Snooze Daily, and we might have a couple other people come down, but just come out, rock out with us, have some drinks, have some fun, watch us do our thing. It will be filmed by GRINDHARD TV, and I'm gonna have a couple of other media people in the building to make it happen. Shout out to HQ Lounge, shout out to Boss Kim and everybody giving us that opportunity to make this shit happen. It's Old School Thursdays this Thursday, March 27th. I can't stress it enough for y'all people that's paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Word. So
can't wait to see you there.
Yes. For sure. Come through, get y'all pictures, get y'all autographs and everything like that. And just sing along with the songs that y'all know and y'all grew up on. You know what I mean? So what I wanted to say to you is this. Since you're not making royalties off the records, right? And these songs really like came from overseas, like the guys that produced and everything like that. Did you ever look into where the records are the biggest at? Because you could go there and get yourself booked at certain locations. You ever thought about doing that? Yeah.
But now all these things coming up,
yeah,
get it together.
Definitely. I want to talk to you about all of that. We're gonna look into all of that because you can see the stats on these records and you can see where they're the biggest at. And a lot of people don't know who you are. They know the record, they know of you, but they don't know that it's you and that they can get in contact with you and things of that sort to book you in these places. And that's the good thing about the internet now is that you can now go online and say, look, I'm right here. This is me. They see it from the videos that's on it. It's you. So I'm here, book me now. And you could make a hand over fist bank off of what you put your hard work into. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely want to make something like that happen. We definitely want to make something like that happen.
Analytics.
Word, the analytics. You go on YouTube videos of these songs, you can see the analytics and see what countries is really buzzing, and we can call promoters and things of that sort. Yeah, we're definitely gonna work that shit out. Y'all heard it here first, man. Worldorama is not just an artist and a podcaster. I also do a lot of marketing and co-managing and stuff like that, and I can make shit happen. So we want to do that because I don't like to see my peoples who are involved with big records that's not really getting the royalties off these records that they're supposed to. So then that means we need to really squeeze that sponge and really make some money off this.
Who's some of the people you manage?
I manage Steph the Def from Money and Violence. I've managed Mr. Sinister from The Executioners. I've managed Kia Jeffries from the Put It In Your Mouth Girl. Put it in your mouth. I've managed Papa Don. He sang on Ghostface album that song. Sometimes I feel like he don't hear me. Okay. I've co-managed 2-5, 50 Cent's cousin, who 50 Cent didn't want to make it in the game. I've got a song with Brenda K. Starr from, she was the one that really started off Mariah Carey's career. You know what I mean? We got a record together. I did a couple of things. I got an album called Dare Into the Big Bad Wolves with Old Dirty Bastard. Like Old Dirty Bastard was Wu-Tang in Staten Island. He was Brooklyn Zoo in Brooklyn, but in Queens, he was Dare Into the Big Bad Wolves. Wow. And if you go online and you Google Dare Into the Big Bad Wolves and stuff out there with my old partner Pliz, because we was Ill Distraction back in the days. We also was called the Big Bad Wolf Gang, and ODB was a member of that. And that music is out there. You know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of stuff, prominent stuff in the game that people don't know. So just like they don't know who you are, but they know your music, people will know of the people I've been around. And you know what I'm saying? And Prodigy was a good friend of mine from Mar B, rest in peace. That's why I did the Ayo Queens Get the Money record, and I talked about it in the second verse. So there's a lot of things that I've done in the game that has been overlooked for a long time. So the fact that I could still be out here and talk my shit on my podcast and bring people up, no problem, and bring people up here that was being overlooked as well in their career. that it's wonderful for me, and I'm happy that I'm able to do that. So to be able to do live events and have you guys come out and perform and document it and stuff like that, and then still search to see where we can go to really make some bank off of it is wonderful. And I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful to be in here still. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody wanted to like contact you because they wanted to know more about your story, or they wanted to book you or things of that sort, where could they reach you at? Because you don't have no Instagram.
Yeah. So I mean, I can leave a phone number if they want that.
Right.
You know.
Well,
and plus at this show, I have my cards. You have my cards.
Okay. All right. So you don't have to leave your number. People don't have to call you. If y'all want to get in contact with Ike Floyd, y'all can holler at 516-540-1684. You know what I'm saying? And y'all can book them and stuff like that. And that's just how it is, man. Like everybody don't have Instagram and all of the social media, man. A lot of people grew up without it. Like I think we're the last of the Mohicans that lived without internet and lived with no cell phones. You know what I'm saying? Everybody after 80, I think it was when you born. If you was born in like 1980 and up, they all experienced. They don't know what it's like to not have a cell phone or internet or things of that sort. But we're the last people to know what it's like to not have no cell phones, not to have no internet, going outside to play and shit like that. A lot of the new generation, they don't know that. They wouldn't even know what to do if there was no cell phones. You know what I'm saying? They would be stuck without no internet. They don't know. You never been. You need something to drink? Crack open. You want your water, or you can crack open your energy drink. Hey, yeah, pass me that water. Yeah, get him this water. We got to make sure your voice is good. You performing Thursday, his voice got to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, so I'm happy to have him here. But so what do you got to say now about the game now? You know what I'm saying? Being the fact that you've been through certain situations, and you know what I mean? Is there any way that artists should be getting jerked now?
They should be.
They shouldn't be. Like,
shouldn't be.
Right.
Wow. There's so many producers, man. There's so many people that want to produce that don't really know how. And you have other people thinking that they do.
Right.
And that's stuff's so really getting confused.
Right.
But I would say, look things up for yourself. These days, it's able you can find out stuff for yourself.
Right.
Right on this internet here. It's not like years ago. Like you said, maybe this will go with a handshake. Okay, this is, you know, and even sometimes you get jerked in the contract.
Yeah, even then it wasn't, a handshake wasn't honorable.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? A handshake wasn't honorable. It would make you think that it was honorable, but it never was.
Getting back to what I was saying earlier, look at 40,000 he signed me for everything I've done, and that, you know, like I say, eat the, you know, the count and get his back first.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So really, the money I was making was on my live shows.
Yeah.
You know, and we were cutting part of that, getting that money back, because you don't get nothing free.
Now, what do you think about 360 deals now? Where they taking a part of everything? Because now, look,
that's terrible, especially when you do all the work.
All right, let's just say, for instance, right now, which we're gonna do, we're gonna go hard and we're gonna see where they want you at the most and go there and get booked. Now, with a 360 deal, they would also take a large percentage of the show money.
Oh, that's
so how do you feel about that?
Can't take nothing from me like that. I'm doing the work and they're gonna sit back and take it. I can't allow that.
See, so basically, you're not putting a 360.
I'm old school, man. I'm over a certain age that I'm not even gonna play that.
Right. You know, and that's good though.
I don't even talk about it. They come up with that. I said, okay, I'm missing with that. I'm good.
Yeah.
I walk away.
And it's good that you definitely know what it is to not be involved with some of that thing that's going on right now, because a label could listen.
That's just dangerous.
Yeah.
We don't know it's dangerous. You think it's just that's a dangerous thing.
Of course, dudes is taking your money out your mouth to feed your family. Of course, that's dangerous. That's hurt somebody's shit.
Yeah.
A lot of people's getting killed in the game right now and shit like that. What's your take on that? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these new artists, see,
owing people money, promises, stuff like that. That's what they do.
Well, some of these young whippersnappers, it's not that they owe people money. They feel like that they need to kill somebody so they could get some clout.
Oh, but
that's crazy. That's ridiculous.
That's really ridiculous.
They'll get a record deal, or they'll blow up, go viral. Because nowadays you don't really need a record deal. You can blow up and go viral just off the internet, and YouTube and all of these places will be paying you money from all your views. But these guys will get big for like 1 year and then go and get themselves killed, talking about they be the ops. What was the purpose of that? You worked all of that hard to get somewhere, and now you in jail or you dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that shit is stupid, man. Back in the days, was there any problem like that with the singers and stuff like that?
No.
Was Luther Vandross beefing with, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Teddy Pendergrass or Barry White had beef with Otis Redding. Like, wasn't any of that shit?
The only little beef that I know Luther had was him and what's my girl name?
Anita Baker.
Yeah, Anita Baker.
Yeah, I love
They
that.
was trying to, who's gonna be the headline. Because we went on tour together. That was a big mess.
Oh, okay. So they
say the truth. Well, I saw the show in California. Listen, her band killed Luther's band. The band,
right,
killed him. I couldn't believe it, man. Because I know most of the people in Luther's band,
right.
Because from Luther doing stuff with me,
right,
and from Lisa Fisher, How Can I Use Your Pain, all these people,
right.
I know all these, most of the people in the group that played,
right,
and there's a few. That's only the people I know they were had.
How you remember everybody's name though? Because the way you was name dropping, like these prominent people, like you have a really good memory.
Pretty good.
You know what I'm saying?
Tell you the truth, a lot of the places that we played, that we performed, I remember that.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of the cats in the group that I still talk to, you remember that IKE? I remember that. That was Lee Bones. I remember all that.
So now you lead to my next question, because nowadays with all of the Sound Exchange, the Song Trust, and the BMI, you can now register where you perform these records at and get paid not only just from the venue paying you, but your publishing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Paying you from that club, having to pay BMI or whatever from those songs being played and performed in it. So being the fact that you don't have your royalties off the records, would you be able to get money off of that, or you just get the monetary cash from the booking, and you can't collect no BMI or ASCAP publishing? Oh, okay. All right, cool.
We do the song over. We do this. We do the song over and create a new song. Shanti did it with Irv Gotti. Did a lot of the songs.
Yeah, a lot of it. Even Taylor Swift did that. Taylor Swift, she played she got all of her songs redone again, and under her publishing now. So is that something that you would ever think about doing?
This? I'm ready to make it happen.
It'll sound just like how the song is sounding now, but you got somebody else playing it over. The band is there playing. You got the other girls singing in the background, and it's you. You got the same voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can be done, but for right now, you can just get your money off the bookings and stuff like that. Word, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm here with Ike Floyd, y'all, the uncle of the original, the official George Floyd, who changed a whole lot for Black people in America. You know what I'm saying? This is Ike Floyd, his uncle. You know what I'm saying? This is real right here. What I want to do is, I want to go into that song that you was talking about earlier, the BB&Q band, Imagination. I want to play that, and then I'm going to come back with you, and we're going to, you know what I'm saying, sum it up. We're going to let everybody know about where they could come see you perform this week coming up, and we're going to do that. So we're going to go into a song, and then I'm going to come back, I'm going to talk to you about it, all right? All right, let's go.
Yeah, a lot of people are redoing the song over, redoing their music over, and what you call it? You go with it, like, don't worry about it. They're redoing the song and make fun of their own publishing. That's really big right now. Ashanti did it with a lot of Irv Gotti music.
The whole album.
Yeah.
I heard she did the whole album of it. Now Irv Gotti's dead. She gonna make it happen now. And also Taylor Swift did that from that guy. I think his name is Cuddy or something.
That was actually like doing some other shit to her too, if I'm not mistaken. That's the person.
Yeah, but they made she went over there and did all of her songs over, and now she's collecting all of her royalties off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're gonna play a little bit of it.
Now the brothers singing this. Kevin Roberts was my background vocalist when I was on my first tour.
Okay, so when we come back, I want to talk about it.
Every day.
He was trying to sound like you.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right.
Oh yeah, you did?
Yeah, on her collectibles album.
I Found It in You?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up.
The reason why I didn't follow the group that at the time I hadn't been here Yeah, my paperwork.
Oh, I see it right
My
here.
paperwork is here. I haven't been here like that.
And this is when you wasn't with the band anymore.
That's a song I did. He came back to try to do it behind me. He lifted me off. It was good though, because I still did a lot of shows. First one was California, man. I did the show. So I got paid like that. Did well.
Yeah. Just let it go. Let it go. You gonna make that happen quick. Eyes over. Mm-hmm. How much time we got left, Matt?
We have about 13 minutes.
All right, cool. And Shelene, you on this song right here too, or you wrote it?
She sounds mostly what J-Lo, what and she sounds mostly the vocals. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You can perform this song too, at the show on Thursday. Oh, okay. So whatever you know, that's what you gonna perform. All right, cool. I really want to just get you on the stage and you just go through whatever they're doing. That's me.
You know it?
Yeah. Why, you want to come in with it or something? Like, I fucks with you, whatever. This Thursday. Have some people come out and shit like that. Pack the place out.
My stuff is on hard drive. Track show.
Yeah, that's cool.
You have to worry about paying the band. Pay me.
That's how you do it.
Like you say, like some guys in the band, they can say 3,500. That's how I take when I do the show for 15.
And put it show what do you call that? A show mix you do.
Yeah, TV track.
TV tracks. Everything is there.
I want to
on the beat album. The whole thing. You ain't heard that. The album you haven't heard. On the beat you haven't heard the album. You want 5 songs on that. I got one of the Time for Love. Don't say goodbye. Mistake. Love is what we should do. My bad.
No, that's good. I'm fixing it for you. I'm just a Virgo and
What date?
September 13th.
15th, baby.
And that's September 13th too.
You Virgos! You Virgos!
That's just a Virgo. I'm just like, I'm affectionate.
That's right. Oh my God, me too, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So and now I get the music thing. I get it. I get it. Where we changed a lot. A lot of us have changed the game in so many ways. Whether the Nas's, the Sean Connerys, the 2 Chainz, the Aces. That's all Virgos, man.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we're gonna come back.
Gotcha.
We'll come back to the low and bring us back.
Remember the hand claps.
Yes. Yeah, y'all know what it is. We back from a little musical break. I'm here, you know what I'm saying, with Ike Floyd. That first song that I played with y'all just now, that was a song called Imagine, and that was with the BB&Q band, and that was when they already but they replaced you with another singer. So almost like some 5 Heartbeat shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they try to he was like your backup singer.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like I told you when I said I did a song with Brenda K. Starr, Mariah Carey was her backup singer. And then she wound up turning around and performed her songs. That I Still Believe, that's a Brenda K. Starr song. But you know it big from it being a Mariah Carey song, but that's really Brenda K. Starr's song, and Mariah Carey was her background singer. So in that song, Imagine, that guy was your backup singer.
Exactly.
And then they wanted to put a song out there.
And then just like the next year, Curtis Harrison did the lead of the BB&Q band, and Kevin Robinson didn't. And he tried to change it up. He tried to get somebody compatible with what I did.
Right.
And like you said, my song would be put it on the map.
Exactly. Like that's what I remember. You know
and
what I'm
actually,
saying?
it's still the hottest today. You don't hear Imagination.
Definitely.
You don't hear none of them songs. You hear on the beat.
Yep.
That's the only one you hear.
When that song come on, is his song and it's his voice. Yeah. Salute to you on that one, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Word. And also the song that I played after that was an Ashanti song. And the reason why I played that song, I Found It In You, is because Shelene Thomas wrote that song and she has vocals on that song. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here with some living legends that is a part of a lot of big records and a lot of, you know what I'm saying, musical history that's on my show today, man. I thank y'all for being here, man. Like this is big for me to have y'all here and for me to be working with y'all. And I want everybody to know this Thursday, March 27th, we will be performing, all of us together at HQ Lounge. You know what I'm saying? Old School Thursdays. This Thursday will be called. You know what I'm saying? We will be there performing. Shelene Thomas, Ike Floyd from the BB&Q Band, Worldorama, Snooze Daily, and we're going to have a couple of other special guests that'll be in the building. HQ Lounge, 1609 Nostrand Avenue. Doors open up at 7, 10 o'clock cover at the door. Rock out with us. You already know what it is.
World.
No.
It's just the beginning.
Yes. Just the beginning.
Just the beginning.
It's the beginning. Like the movie In the Beginning that I'm in as well.
Plus, I'm in the movie also.
Exactly. We're all in the movie In the Beginning. So this is just the beginning.
So far, but the other part, I don't know yet.
Right.
But as far as now, you know, I'm singing.
You know what I mean?
I'll pretend to be excellent. Everybody.
Do you have anything that you want to say to the people that's coming up in the game now, being the fact that you've been through so much and still going through stuff? Because like you said, you're not receiving royalties off these songs. Your royalties will be whatever shows you get and whatever gigs you get out of doing them shows. Right. So what do you have to say about people coming up in the game now? What should they do?
Ooh. Wow. It's kind of a hard thing to try to explain. You know,
don't hold no punches. Neither say what you want to say.
You know, I mean, number one, man, you gotta be straight. You know, I mean, as far as accomplishing something, man. If you put your mind to something, you can get it done. But if you don't keep your mind on that, what you need to get done, it won't never happen. Okay. And so, just stay focused, stay away from the bullshit, and read the contract good, the fine letters, man.
And if you can't read it good, you get a lawyer
to do it. And,
that's it. He'll explain it to you and break it down to every word.
Tell you the truth, you kind of hope you don't bullshit you a little bit, you know?
Right.
That's
you get your own lawyer.
Yeah.
Get somebody that you hire that you know is working for you.
Exactly.
Not telling you that they coming from the company that you signed with.
To help you, man.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta go where you celebrate it and not tolerate it.
Exactly.
That's my new slogan, and I'm gonna push the shit out of it. Just like I did my flowers for everybody. Yo, go where you celebrate it, not tolerate it, man. You don't know where somebody just wants you around for whatever purpose and they ain't really got your best interest in mind.
Right.
Go where you celebrate that. Right. This is why the same bottle of water can be sold for $7 in the airport, and then at the store it's only $1. You know what I'm saying? You go where you celebrate it, not tolerate it. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm just so happy to have you on the show. I'm looking forward to performing with you, because not only is it going to be a great night, but now on my resume, I could say that I performed with Ike Floyd and Shelene Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, I did a song with Brenda K. Starr and ODB and all these people. Right. I have y'all now on my resume of people that I performed with. And I want to definitely work with y'all and do songs with y'all as well. Definitely. I'm happy, man. I'm so excited. 2025 so far has been such a illuminating year for me already. You know what I mean? We damn near 90 days in, the end of the first quarter, and I've been getting so much stuff accomplished. Let's not forget, Lucy the Movie is out right now on LucyTheMovie.com. I'm in that. I've already been to Trinidad to the Carnival, performed on their major TV, been on their major radio. I've been doing a bunch of shows. I just was at a Society House dispensary yesterday, where I've been working with some people to get some other things done. You know what I mean? Like it's just so flourishing this year with my career and things that I got going on, and I'm happy to be doing business with some living legends. You know what I'm saying? That we can work together and make some things happen. I'm excited and I'm happy to have y'all on the show, and I'm happy to have a platform where I can let people know who y'all are, what y'all been through, and tell y'all story and shit like that, because this will be out there forever. You know what I mean? Salute to my people's S Street Media. You know what I'm saying? I get that has a studio for me to come in here and make it happen. My guy G Math, that's always stand up with me. You know what I mean? Salute to him. Shout out Rough Riders Radio, the energy drink, Ride Out energy drink. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Ace Q Lounge. Shout out Moonlight Corner, another event that I'm gonna be doing things with. Shout out my guy GQ Beats that produced my song off of Lucy the Movie soundtrack. Shout out my guy Blue Diaz that's producing the Worldorama's Vision Project. Shout out to Umbrella Studios. They produced the They Love World project that's out. I'm about to drop right now. There's so much things that's happening and flourishing right now that I'm so excited about. It's a bunch of things that I wanted to talk about that I've just been involved in, but our show's been just engulfed with our guests, and that's how I want to keep it. I don't really want to go off topic because usually when I come in the studio, if I don't have any guests, I just talk about like the things that's going on in the game and what the talk that everybody's talking about. And usually I don't really like talking about everybody else's business, but when you're a podcaster, you have to get on here. But I'll be wanting to have this platform for you guys to come on here and tell y'all story and let people know who y'all are. And if they want to book y'all, they could do that. And then it could generate some income for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So thank y'all for being on the show. You know, Shelene Thomas, Ike Floyd. And again, always remember, don't ever forget, you know what I'm saying, what George Floyd brought to the game to let people know that, you know what I mean, there's still a lot of injustice that's going on out here. And we need to stand firm about what's going on. You know what I mean? Be on your Malcolm X shit, man. Don't just let anything fly and go. And a lot of times, too, people don't always just be watching shit. You see something going on, don't just watch and film. You know what I mean? Get to it. Like if you can assist and help save somebody from being murdered or killed, not saying put your life on the line for it, but sometimes you got to be a warrior and you got to stand up for what you believe in if you really believe in that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Word up. Shit is real, man. Any last words you want to say to the people?
Just saying, hope to see you on the 27th.
Yes.
Ike Floyd Shelene's gonna do their thing.
Yes.
Hopefully we team up and get this duet going on.
Yes.
And we've been talking about it, so hopefully that we can have it done.
Yes, we're gonna make that happen. Hand clap to that. We're gonna make sure that makes it happen. You know what I'm saying? So look, this your boy Worldorama. This is GRINDHARD TV Podcast. We will be on March 27th. We will be on 1609 Nostrand Avenue, HQ Lounge. Doors open up at 7. Come through, have some drinks with us. It's now spring again, y'all. It's spring again. Everybody knows it's spring again. To the boys and girls and people above. That was my rendition of Biz Markie. R.I.P. Biz Markie. I really love Biz Markie. He was one of my favorites. He was one of the Diabolical Biz was one of my favorites. You know what I mean? R.I.P. Biz. But it's spring again. It's going to be nice outside, and we will be performing this Thursday, March 27th, Old School Thursdays, HQ Lounge, 1609 on Nostrand Avenue, right off of Tilden, y'all. Join us. Yes, it's going to be crazy. The songs that we played tonight and so much more is going to go on. And it's going to be a night to just come out there, have a good time, get y'all some drinks, because the club definitely want to make money at the bar. So don't come there thinking like, oh, if you don't drink, get you some juice. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Support the bar, and it's giving us the venue to make it happen. You know what I mean? Come out and see a dope show, and the cameras will be rolling. So just know, you will be on camera. The lives will be rolling. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you.
We're going to do our thing on Thursday. We're going to make it happen. Don't forget, Lucy the Movie is out right now. Y'all can see it at lucythemovie.com. And we will see y'all next week. Or we will see y'all on Thursday first. And we're going to make it happen then. And then we're going to talk about it again next week. I'm probably going to have Snooze Daily here next week so he could say his take on the show that we're doing this Thursday. So thanks to my guests. Everybody be safe out there. You know what I mean? GRINDHARD TV, we always there. Y'all never there. Salute to everybody that's involved with what's going on. GRINDHARD. Yeah. Right? All right, let me.
That was a great show.
And
this is where the real hip hop lives. Rough Riders Radio. 100% real hip hop and R&B.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it.
This is how we do it. She shake her ass to my music. If he clutch it, I'm out the boomer. You gon' give me that pack, I'ma loot him. He don't know that I spit on a scooter. Don't play with your life when he ain't for the doula. He don't know that I'ma be the tutor. So bro, just stick to the plan. We gon' make it, we gotta expand. Put years in this shit, never switch on the fan. I'm getting hustle section. Get your bitch, why the fuck is she texting? I carry Gina on hit for the weapon. It's our social, my daughter, your best friend. Get off my dick while I'm all of your mentors. Niggas get hit, now they cross to the reverend. I'm clocking the T, they was smoking my death, now I'm pushing they P after waiting for years, now the trigger release. I stuck by open, I copy this G-Mess and service say peace if you push up on me, lot of niggas don't have it, I rap for the street. You can never be lame representing my team. Remember back then I was heavy on peace, had to realize the fame really count on me. Started counting my bricks, had to wake up the beats. My heart is too big to get love to a tree, so I don't care about the bill, which I'm paying the fee. When I step out the building, make sure I look flee. I was pouring my heart on my shirt, got a league. You been stuck on my mind every day out the week, pray to God every day before walking the street. Look at both ways before crossing the street. You hop out the V, you get left out the V. Live in your face when you still on your feet. Too much you ain't got, gotta release. Remember the rookie, but never the weak. How many ops got put on my split?